Welcome to the reading of the Canton Repository for Friday, April 16, 2021. My name is Pam, and let's begin with the death notices. Patricia A. Allensworth, age 81, died Wednesday after a long illness. Friends may call Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m. at the Lemuel Funeral Home. Louis Joseph Buesler, age 79, of Delroy, passed away peacefully at home April 13th. Services will be held Saturday at 2 p.m. in the Fine Frock Gordon Funeral Home in Magnolia. Friends may call Saturday, 2 hours before the service, from 12 noon to 2 p.m. in the funeral home. Gino R. Carbina, 47, of Canton, passed away April 7th at Justin T. Rogers Hospice Center following his battle with lung cancer. A celebration of life will be held Friday, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. at Adams Mason's Funeral Home, located at 791 East Market Street, Akron. Johnny Cowgill, 73, known to most as Big John, passed away unexpectedly in a boating accident. The family will receive friends April 19th from 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. at Apostolic Lighthouse Tabernacle in Massillon. Funeral services will follow at 6:30 p.m. A private interment will be held on Tuesday at Sunset Hills Burial Park, Paquillet Funeral Home. Ronald C. Harbert, age 87, of Plain Township, died Monday following a brief illness. Mass of Christian burial will be April 17th at 11 a.m. Little Flower Catholic Church. Burial and military honors for the family will be held in Ohio Western Reserve National Cemetery, Seville. Friends may call Saturday, April 17th from 10 to 11 a.m. in the church. The Wakerly Funeral Home is in charge of arrangements. Judy K. Kendall, age 75, of Canton, passed away on Monday. Funeral services will be held at 11 a.m. on Saturday in the Carlo Libby Funeral Home. Interment will be in North Lawn Cemetery. Friends may call from 10 to 11 a.m. Saturday, 1 hour before services at the funeral home. Masks are required, social distancing will be practiced, and gathering limits will be enforced. Hilda A. Ross, 75, of Canton, passed away April 10th. The family will receive friends on April 19th at Sherrick Road Church of God, Canton, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., with service to follow at 12 p.m. Burial will follow in Sunset Hills Burial Park. Reed Funeral Home, Canton Chapel, is entrusted with the arrangements. Robert J. Warren, 74, of Uniontown, passed away on April 14th in the company of family. Calling hours will be held on Friday, today, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Hiker Funeral Home, Jackson Chapel. Mass of Christian burial will be held on Saturday at Queen of Heaven Catholic Church, Uniontown, beginning at 10 a.m. Burial will follow at Rose Hill Memorial Garden in Massillon. Richard J. Wingardner, Sr., 88, of Canton, passed away April 11th. A graveside service will be conducted on Monday at 11 a.m. at North Lawn Cemetery, Canton. Reed Funeral Home, North Canton Chapel, is entrusted with the arrangements. And that concludes the area deaths for today. So let's move on to our first article. Student gun selfie at Alliance High School pleads guilty, sent to SRCCC, by Cassandra Nist. An Alliance High School student who posed with a gun inside the school back in January has pleaded guilty to weapons-related charges. Stark County Common Pleas Judge Krissa Hartnett on Thursday released Hogan E. Wade from the Stark County Jail to the Stark Regional Community Correction Center, where he will spend 3 to 6 months, depending on his progress, once a bed is available. Upon release, he'll be on probation. Wade, 18, was arrested by Alliance Police on January 20th for bringing a 22 caliber handgun into the high school, where he took photos with the firearm and posted them on social media. Wade pleaded guilty to illegal conveyance or possession of a deadly weapon or dangerous ordnance in a school safety zone, inducing panic, and carrying a concealed weapon. Driver in violent road rage beating indicted by the grand jury, by Cassandra Nist. A Stark County grand jury has indicted Trevance Backey, 32, accused in the road rage beating of an 85-year-old driver. He pleaded not guilty. The 4-count indictment includes 1 count of felonious assault with a repeat violent offender specification, failure to stop at an accident, yielding when entering a roadway from a place other than roadway, and 1 count driving under financial responsibility, law responsibility, or cancellation. Backey is accused of beating 85-year-old Ralph White when 2 vehicles collided around 10:30 p.m. in the 2600 block of 8th Street Northeast. White said he was beaten while still in his vehicle. He was hospitalized with multiple injuries and treated and released. According to police, Backey fled the scene and was arrested by U.S. Marshals with the assistance of the Canton Police K-9 unit on March the 2nd. He was released from probation 5 weeks earlier, having served 10 years in prison, followed by 3 years of probation stemming from an aggravated burglary conviction. Up next, Discovery Plus to stream program on Hartville man who killed his wife. A program featuring Philip Snyder, the Hartville man convicted of killing his wife after she disappeared under bizarre circumstances, is slated to stream on Discovery Plus later this month. The program, titled When Philip Met Missy, begins streaming April 27th. The show covers the investigation leading up to the arrest and conviction of Snyder, who killed his wife of 53 years. He was sentenced in August 2018 to life in prison with the chance for parole in 20 years. After Roberta Snyder was reported missing earlier in 2018, her husband initially told investigators that she had fallen ill and died while in the parking lot of a Memphis hotel during a trip. He claimed paramedics had taken away her corpse in an ambulance, but he couldn't give other details or identifying marks of the vehicle. Then he claimed Roberta had died between Columbus and Cincinnati, and he continued to Graceland and dumped his wife's body into the Tennessee River. But later, Snyder became friendly with a young woman he met at a local fast food restaurant and shared the details of his crime, although his wife's body has never been found. The young woman turned out to be a police officer who was secretly recording his conversations and getting him to reveal damning details. With an abundance of real-life footage and archival content, viewers can hear Philip and Missy's actual conversations over the months of their romance, according to a news release for the program. Raw surveillance footage shows their every move, giving viewers fly-on-the-wall access to what really occurred in this jaw-dropping case. The program includes interviews with family, law enforcement, and witnesses. Canton Repository staff writer Ed Blayton, who covered the case, is also featured. Every resident in the small town of Hartville, Ohio, knows that if you want the latest town gossip, you have to head over to the local fast food joint, Discovery Plus said in the release. In a town of only 3,000 people, coffee shops are limited, and most folks meet to chat and enjoy their morning brew in the middle of a busy drive-through restaurant. Snyder was 73 years old when he pleaded guilty to aggravated murder and other charges. At some point, he told the undercover police officer that after fighting with his wife one morning, he struck her twice in the head with a 2-pound steak hammer, killing her as she slept on the living room love seat. He also said he tied a plastic grocery bag over his wife's head and rolled her body onto a plastic tarp before loading her body into his pickup truck. The Discovery Plus program focuses on the conversations between the undercover officer and Snyder. What starts out as a meet cute then swirls into a cycle of surprising and sinister twists that viewers won't see coming, the news release said. Since the trial, Roberta's son Kenny also has set up a memorial fund in her name through the Stark Community Foundation to benefit the Domestic Violence Project, Inc. Information about it can be found at www.starkcf.org/give-Bobby. Green City Council approves synthetic turf for Central Park by Brian Lissick. At Tuesday's meeting, the key action was approved an agreement with Forever Lawn NEO for the purchase and installation of synthetic playground turf at the Central Park Playground. The discussion? Councilman at Large and Environment and Parks Committee Chair Richard Brandenburg said the city had budgeted $90,000 in its 2021 capital improvement budget for this project. We are appropriating $71,501, Brandenburg said prior to council approval of the agreement. Some of the difference is work the city will do to prepare the site, and this is to make a safer, more accessible play area in Central Park. In other action, approved a $27,900 contract with B&B Sealing, the lowest of 5 bids received, for the city's 2021 park pavement maintenance program, including parking lot paving and sealing at Central Park. Approved 2 30-year tax increment financing agreements with TWL Green Development and Boggs Chiropractic, where 100% of property taxes will be earmarked for infrastructure improvements after the tax obligation to green local schools is met. Approved an agreement with Oriana House, Inc. for community correctional services. Up next, Council will meet at 7 p.m. April 27th at Green City Hall, 1755 Town Park Boulevard, and via live stream broadcast at www.cityofgreen.org. Our next article, Stark County COVID-19 Vaccine Tracker. 20% of the people fully vaccinated, by Chastity Lasky. Some 20% of people living in Stark County are fully vaccinated as of April 13th, according to data from the Ohio Department of Health. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention considers someone fully vaccinated 2 weeks after they've been given a single-dose shot of Johnson & Johnson or a second shot, either Pfizer or Moderna. Ohio reported 1,043,729 total cases of coronavirus, an increase of 1% from the week before. The 5 counties with the highest percentage of their population fully vaccinated in Ohio as of April 13th are Delaware County 30%, Ottawa County 29%, Putnam County 28%, Wood County 27%, and Muskingum County 26%. Here are the latest numbers on COVID-19 vaccinations in the Stark County as of April 13th. How many people in Stark County have received a COVID-19 vaccine? 33% of the people in Stark County have received at least 1 dose of the vaccine, for a total of 122,096 people. 20% of the people in Stark County are fully vaccinated, for a total of 74,523 people. For a county-by-county look at the vaccination rollout, see our COVID-19 vaccine tracker, which is updated daily. How many people in Ohio have been vaccinated so far? Well, 36% of the people in Ohio have received at least 1 dose of the vaccine, for a total of 4,184,700 people. 23% of the people in Ohio are fully vaccinated, for a total of 2,707,455 people. We pull data on local vaccine distribution on a weekly basis. Check back for our next weekly update, midweek, for the latest numbers. How Stark County Area School Plan to Address Learning Gaps Left by the Coronavirus Pandemic, by Kelly Weir. More Stark County area students will be attending summer programs this year as school districts try to catch students up academically to where they would have been if the coronavirus pandemic hadn't upended their education for the past year. At least 21 of the 24 Stark County area school districts are planning to hold some type of educational summer program for students who need some help making up for the lost days in the classroom due to the coronavirus pandemic. According to plans the districts submitted to the Ohio Department of Education or posted on their websites. The Learning Recovery and Extended Learning Plans, which were requested by Governor Mike DeWine, provides the first glimpse at how school districts statewide are planning to identify those students who are behind academically, emotionally, or socially, and how they plan to make up for any learning that may have been lost or delayed due to the coronavirus pandemic and related disruptions. The plans, which are expected to evolve, include districts' efforts for now, this summer, next school year, and beyond. We didn't get here in a day, Sandy Valley Local Superintendent David Fisher said, and we're not going to get out of it in a day or a month. It will take a whole year to catch up. State and local testing last fall indicate that overall student learning in reading and math had been negatively impacted by the students' sudden shuttering of schools in March 2020 and the 3 months of online learning that followed. Roughly 70% of Stark County area students have been attending in-person classes this school year. Educators soon will have better data showing where students now stand academically as results from internal and state testing are returned over the next several weeks. Many students are taking state tests this week. And what the plan says. A Canton repository analysis of the learning recovery and extended learning plans submitted by 23 Stark County area traditional public schools and the R.G. Drake Career Technical Center shows the following trends. Besides summer school, nearly half of the districts are planning to offer after-school programs for students who need help in reading and math. Districts such as Fairless, Louisville, Minerva, and West Branch indicate their after-school programs are either underway or will begin this month in an effort to close some of the learning gaps before the school year ends. At least 9 school districts plan to hire additional personnel over the next 2 school years to help. While many of the schools are planning to hire only a few tutors, Alliance looks to hire roughly 20 full and part-time employees, including a full-time middle school dean of students, a full-time literacy coach to work with teachers, and a full-time mental health counselor to support digital learners. North Canton and Sandy Valley are considered hiring additional teachers to reduce class sizes next school year. Most school districts plan to use their allocation of the Federal Elementary and Secondary School Emergency Relief Fund to pay for the additional services and employees. How the pandemic has affected students socially and emotionally is just as important as how it has affected their academics. Every school district included plans for helping students thrive beyond academics. To read your school's district's plans, you can visit cantonrep.com/news/education/ anything but school, summer school. Some school districts, such as Canton City Schools, are beefing up their already extensive summer school plans, while others, such as Fairless, are offering a summer camp for younger students for the first time. Most of the districts are also offering transportation and food to overcome some of the typical barriers that prevent students from participating in summer programs. Michael Hearn, Director of Curriculum Instruction and Special Programs at Fairless, said Fairless Summer Camp won't feel like a typical day at school. The camp, for more than 150 invited students in kindergarten through 8th grade, will be held off campus at Winaki Camp and Retreat Center near Beach City. While it will have a literacy focus, the learning will be embedded into activities such as nature walks, fishing, canoeing, and hiking. We're kind of taking an anything but school approach in summer, Hearn said. We're trying to get the kids in an environment outside the building, and we're trying to connect it to a lot of real life experiences, because one of the pieces of the pandemic that has been so hard to measure is the effect of students not being able to collaborate and work in groups like they usually do. Fairless also will hold its traditional summer school for older students who need to retake a course. Beyond academics, Plain local Superintendent Brent May said helping students with their social and emotional needs will be a significant part of Plain's approach in overcoming the pandemic's immediate and long-term impacts. If we can't get people healthy, that's kids and that's families, they are going to learn better, May said. One of the district's goals is for every student to have at least one trusted adult that they can talk with regularly. Another goal is to ensure that all families have the resources they need to help their child be successful. Instead of the traditional approach of presenting families with a list of resources, May said the district plans to start coming alongside families to guide them through what they can be a complicated maze of organizations and social services. That's a huge shift for us, and if there's ever a time it's needed, it's now, he said. Up next, Circe virtual book discussion is Saturday. Soroptimist International of Canton, Stark County will host If Circe Were a 21st Century Woman, a book discussion based on Circe by Madeline Miller. Seroptimist members Alexandra Kuhn and Lisa Armitage will moderate the live Zoom session to be presented 10 to 11 a.m. Saturday, according to a news release. Circe is the book selected by the Massillon Museum for its 14th NEA Big Read in Western Stark County. The discussion is open to the public. Required registration for the free discussion can be made at massillonmuseum.org/big read or 330-833-4061. This year's NEA Big Read in Western Stark County includes 40 events presented by the museum and its community partners, including the local Seroptimist organization. Seroptimists International of Canton, Stark County is part of a global volunteer organization that provides women and girls with access to the education and training they need to achieve economic empowerment. This discussion will leverage the book's theme of access to knowledge as a means of finding and seizing one's power to compare Circe's struggle with those women face in present day. Free copies of Circe will be available at the Massillon Museum, 121 Lincoln Way East, and the Massillon Public Library, 208 East Lincoln Way East, as long as supplies last. Visitors must wear masks and respect social distancing at both sites. For more information, call the Massillon Museum at 330-833-4061 or visit massillonmuseum.org. Brewster Fire Department cancels annual festival for the second year, by Amy Knapp. The number of COVID cases and logistics have prompted Brewster Fire Department officials to cancel this year's Firemen's Festival. It was a tough decision to forego the annual event for a second year, but they are erring on the side of caution, says Chief Chris Calusi. Personally, I just don't want to be responsible if something happens to somebody after attending our festival, he said. The 4-day event, traditionally held at the end of May, includes amusement rides, food vendors, a parade, 5K run, and fireworks. When discussion first began about the festival, Stark County Health Department officials wouldn't give the group permission to hold the event, Calusi said. That was before Governor Mike DeWine declared that festivals, proms, and parades could be held. Despite the governor's blessing, Calusi said regulations made it difficult to host the festival. We have to social distance and have no more than groups of 10 and 6 feet between people in line for rides or getting food, the chief said. Our entertainment, it's almost impossible to social distance. It's just going to be way too hard to police. There's no way to enforce the governor's orders for social distancing. Also, some of the group's partners in the event pulled out or were not able to participate this year, he said. Hosting festivals amid the pandemic? Calusi has heard from others who plan to host annual festivals, but he's left wondering how they will do it. The health department is going to be out, he said. Logistically, it's a nightmare. Tanya Marshall, Executive Vice President of Marketing and Communications for Visit Canton, said more groups are beginning to plan events, both virtual and in person, throughout the spring and summer. It's been all over the place, she said. We're really just working with each of the partners with what they think they can accomplish. Some are doing virtual, some are doing a combination. It's still critical for people to feel safe. Even with outdoor events, Marshall said they must consider social distancing and other safety precautions. More live music events are being added to Visit Canton's calendar of events, she said. Many organizations have found innovative ways like drive-thrus and carryouts to offer their patrons what they want. It's a challenge, especially with things changing so much, and new things keep coming, Marshall said. It's been really trying, and we have to adapt on a daily basis. Major fundraiser. The Brewster Firemen's Festival is one of the major fundraisers for the department. 2 years ago, without the influx of funding from the event, is concerning, Calusi said. Officials are talking about different things they can do to raise money, but the chief admitted it will not bring in the kind of funding the festival generates. We don't have anything concrete, Calusi said. We are looking to do something later in the summer, maybe a gun raffle. In a statement on the fire department's Facebook page, they expressed their disappointment in having to cancel. Our members look forward to the festival every year, the Post reads. We just hope you understand, and we look forward to seeing you next year. Most people who commented on the post were understanding, while some shared their disappointment and urged officials to not let politicians or fear factor into their decision making. Someone suggested the fire department consider selling the firefighters' sausage sandwich. Colucci said they are considering a lot of different options, but one thing is for sure, there will be a festival in 2022. ABCD seeks nominations for COVID-19 champions by April 23rd. This year's theme for the ABCD meeting and awards is Salute to COVID-19 Champions. The event will be held virtually June 23rd on several social media platforms, according to the news release. The award will honor Stark County residents who have endured the test of the pandemic by providing essential services and sacrificed for others. You can go to https://form.jotform.com/210905546403147. How's that? To fill out your choice for the COVID-19 Championship Award, that's https://form.jotform.com/21090546403147. The form also will be available on the ABCD website and Facebook page. Yay! Deadline for submission is April 23rd. Well, my dear friends and listeners, that concludes the reading of the Canton Repository for this Friday, April 16th. My name is Pam. Thank you for having me in your home today. Be safe until we meet again, and as always, I hope for you abundant blessings.